what we're gonna discuss now is how important it is to keep our subconscious side of our brain into a positive mode. And you can only do that through feelings and emotions, through using your senses. It's not enough to just self-talk yourself into a positive mode. It's so important that we control the subconscious side of the brain, because it doesn't matter what the conscious side, it doesn't matter that the side that we think when we're making decisions, where we're conscious about what we're doing, we think we're in control, but really the subconscious side of the brain is calculating, is making all the decisions about our lives. Think of it as the computer hardware behind the front end. It's the server. It's calling all the information, and it's really controlling everything based on our data, based on our information. So, one of the things about keeping the subconscious side of a brain in a positive mode is through our emotions and feelings. We can't just say I'm positive. We can't just say I'm feeling great. That's not enough. And I'm sure you've probably tried that and it hasn't worked. We have to back that up with our senses. We have to back that up with our actions. And there's just little things that we do, and very simple things that we do, that can automate that process. And once the key thing is about becoming a permanent deep learner, becoming a permanent deep learner will change your life. I promise you this. It will give you power, it will give you adventure, it will give you fun. Everything about you will change, because we are our thoughts, nothing else. This is what we are, and how we think and how we feel reflects our action, reflects our decisions, and then it reflects our results and our experiences. So this exercise here is really important, because what I do, and it's a 10-minute exercise before I go to sleep, and it's a 10-minute exercise when I wake up. So if you go to bed in a negative mindset, if you go in bed angry, envious, fearful, the subconscious side of the brain is going to start working with those feelings. And when you wake up in the morning, you're most probably going to have some kind of anxiety. And I keep saying this, it doesn't matter how many courses you do, and you can become a deep learner. And becoming a deep learner will help you stay focused, will help you find that purpose, and then with a burning desire, fulfill that purpose. But we still need the support of our subconscious mind. If our subconscious mind is still fearful, if our subconscious mind is still angry, if our subconscious mind is scared of taking risks or scared of making mistakes, then it diminishes our deep learning capability. So when we want to switch our brain into a deep learner, we need to bring our subconscious mind with us. The subconscious side of the brain needs to be part of the journey. It's not just our conscious. It's not just us doing these exercises and then, hey, I'm going to do 20 minutes of deep learning exercises a day and I'm going to be fine. No, you need to bring the subconscious mind through, and you can't trick the subconscious mind. When I say you can't trick it, you can't just tell it, I'm going to do this and I'm going to feel great. No, you need to bring the emotion, you need to bring the feelings, you need to bring the action into it. And so what I'm about to show you now is practical exercises that I use for my morning and for my nights. And they're easy. No more than 10 minutes in the morning and no more than 10 minutes at night. It's fun, it's easy. You'd be surprised how effective it is just by doing these little exercises, okay? So let me just break it up here. So you got a morning and night. Okay, so What we're trying to do here and what we're trying to achieve here is to keep the subconscious side of the brain in positive mode. The feelings of desire, the feelings of love, the feelings of hope and faith and passion, all these feelings that bring out the best in you and bring out the best in your brain. We want to keep that in that mode. And to do that, one of the first things that you do when you get up, and what you do as well to make sure, this is what I do. I put the timer on, 10 minutes. No more than 10 minutes. And the first thing I'm going to do is a gratitude. Okay? So, I want you to put the timer on for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. And in those 3 minutes, I want you to think about 3 things that you're grateful for. And it could be anything. It could be the smallest thing, but put your mindset into 3 things that you feel like you're fortunate enough. And believe me, when you're alive and you're breathing, you're grateful. And there's so many things you can, and if you search for it, you got to search for it. And if you're feeling unhappy, find something that you're grateful about. And let the brain start searching for that gratefulness in the first 3 minutes as soon as you wake up. Then, after that, probably 3 minutes. So this is what I do. All right? So I do my grateful. I do my gratitude exercise, the first 3 minutes. The next 3 minutes and again, in all these situations, I put a timer on it, okay? Because I'm not going to do more than 10 minutes. So, in this exercise here, I usually spend 2 minutes skipping. So I'll just skip for 2 minutes, and I'll spend another minute just doing a small stretch, something that's going to wake up the body, something that's going to vitalize the body and bring out the energy. Because all of a sudden now we've found 3 things that we're grateful for, and you let the brain think, oh my God, I'm alive, I'm breathing, I'm not dead. That's something to be grateful about. I have a friend, I have a family, whatever that is. You identify that in your head, then you jump straight into so your brain now is thinking, okay, well, I'm grateful about these kind of stuff. And then you do the exercise and we wake up the body, we're revitalizing the body. So all of a sudden the body and the brain is working together to bring a positive emotion out of yourself in the morning. And the final thing, number 3, is we do a deep learning practice. Now I like to call this a mini. So this is a mini deep. It's not a deep learning practice that I want you to do during the day. This is just a mini deep learning practice. This will take you 4 minutes. So 4 minutes to do this deep learning practice, and all you want to do here, I want you to learn one new thing. And learn one new thing that you are passionate about. Learn one new thing that you have an interest in, anything. Read something. It could be go to a podcast. It could be even go to some kind of video. Anything where you can learn one new thing. It could be a definition of something. It could be an idea of something. It could be something about a sports star or something like that. Whatever. Learn one new thing. Spend 4 minutes searching. And then because what we're doing now is we've put our brain into a positive mode. We've vitalized the brain by giving it energy, by doing a few little exercises. And then what we've done is we're doing an exercise where we're going to learn one new thing. One new thing. And it's very easy. Trust me, you don't know everything. So it's very easy to find one new thing that you can learn. Now, when I say one new thing, try to make it something that you care about. Try to find something that you personally have some connection, some meaning towards it. Because when you're learning something you don't care about, it's not deep learning. Okay, when you're learning something for the sake of learning, it's not deep learning. One of the best ways to learn is when you're learning something, ask yourself, do I care about this? Okay, why do I care about this? And then when you find that you care about something and then you're learning something new, always think about, how can I apply this somewhere? Because when you're thinking about how you can apply it, your brain's already working in the background. It's already making connections. It's already thinking about ideas. It's already sparking its neurons in its head, and it's exciting the brain. So when I say learning, make sure it's something that you personally have a care for. And it could be reading a book, and it could be anything that's gonna drive some kind of spark and identify one new learning thing. And in 4 minutes, you put the timer on, in 4 minutes, you have to find something that you have learned. Anything as small as it can be, anything. Find it, and you got 4 minutes to do it, and then write it down. Okay? So that's your morning routine. That's 10 minutes. That is 10 minutes, and this is what I do. This is what I do every morning. Now, this is what I do every single morning. That's gonna keep the subconscious side of the brain in a positive mode. Now, after that, I usually like to take a shower. I take a cold shower. That's something, the reason why I take a cold shower after this, it shakes the body up even further, and there's many health benefits towards taking a cold shower. There's also the energy that comes from it. It does make you feel uncomfortable, because as soon as you hit that shower, you're just like, oh my God, why am I doing this? But when you walk out of that shower after having a cold shower, you feel fantastic. You feel like you can fly. You feel like there's nothing that can stop you. And that's when you do that and you follow that with a cold shower. This is what I do. I'm not saying for you to have a cold shower, but when you do that and you then have a cold shower, you'll come out of that feeling revitalized. You'll come out of that feeling so strong, so powerful. Nothing can stop you. Okay, this is about you. And just like me, it's about me. When I do this exercise, it's about you. The key here, the key to doing something like this, you have to come in it with a subconscious mindset. We're doing this to convert our subconscious mindset into a positive mode, and to keep it there, so that when we're doing these deep learning exercises and we become a deep learner, we use every ounce of our brain to keep growing and developing to our limitless self, or to a pathway that we never even imagined. Because this is about deep learning. This is about growing and developing to a point where even yourself, knowing yourself, and you know yourself better than anyone, but you might not know your capability, because unless you're a permanent deep learner with the right subconscious, you can never know your potential. And it takes fun. What this needs, and I always say this, doing this is easy. The key is consistency. You have to do it every day. 10 minutes a day can change your life. 10 minutes a day of just doing this exercise can change. In fact, if you do this every day for 21 days and make it into a habit, it will change your life. Something will change. Now, let's go to night. And in the night, we're going to spend 10 minutes. Okay, I'll use another color. Now, reflection. With reflection, at the end of the day, before you go to sleep, it's a 10-minute exercise. So this is when we wake up, and this is when we go to sleep. This is really important. What we do before we go to sleep, because when we go to sleep and you're sleeping, the unconscious side of the brain is still working. It's actually still activating. It's processing all that information. It's processing everything that you did, just like a computer, just like an AI. The way you code The way you code an AI is the way it's going to learn and develop and grow. This is exactly what we're doing. We're coding our own brain. We're doing exactly the same thing of our own brain. We're coding it. We're not letting our brain just do whatever it wants, because if it does, it's going to revert to fear. It's going to revert to the failure. It's going to revert to fear of failure. It's going to revert to envy and jealousy and anger and all these negative emotions that do not help us, do not help our brain, do not help your journey as a deep learner. So the first thing we do is reflect. When you reflect, all I want you to do is to just identify the positive events of the day. Anything that happened to you today, I want you to identify one positive event. And trust me, there's many positive events in your life. It's just that, unfortunately, our brain focuses on the negative. So, at the end of the day, focus on one positive event. This is what I do, on one positive thing that happened to me today. It could be anything. It could be a conversation you had with someone. It could be a phone call. It could be something that you did. It could be some action that you've never done before. Anything that you feel was a positive towards you, a positive event, start thinking about it. And also when you're reflecting, start thinking about how you felt during that moment. And it could even be learning something that you learned today, and then you learned something else made sense to you. That's up to you. But when you're reflecting, I want you to think of the positive event. One positive event that happened to you today and how you felt. Then, after this, we move into a deep learning practice. Okay, so we move into a deep learning practice. And this one we spend 5 minutes. And this one here is very similar to this one. So then we do the deep learning practice. And this one here is very similar to this one. And in this one, we spend 5 minutes doing this. Again, we're putting the timer on. We're not going to spend more than 10 minutes. This is before we go to bed. Now, this one here, very similar to that one. The only difference is I want you to find something new. I want you to look and learn one new thing of a topic that is of interest to you. It's going to be different. It's going to be very different to the one you had in the morning. But it's got to be something that you care about, something that you have, that has meaning to you. Because when you're learning something that you don't care about, when you're learning a definition that you don't have any connection with, or it doesn't have a spark, it doesn't give you a burning desire to learn more, then it's not deep learning. So deep learning is about finding that spark and finding that deep meaning that is important to you. So in the morning you've learned something new that you care about, and at night again you spend 5 minutes learning something new that you care about, something that triggers a spark. And remember, when you're learning something new, always think about how can I apply this. So think about, it could be reading something, and when you're reading something and you're trying to find something new, think about what you've learned, and then think about how is this applied? How can I action this? How can I do something with, because then the brain's working and it's actually developing ideas, it's actually thinking creatively. And remember, we've got 100 billion neurons in your head, and it's like having these little workers. They want to work. You just got to give them something to do, and they want to get excited. You got to give them something exciting to do. So I'm not telling you to learn something that's boring. I want you to learn something that excites you. And when you go through this phase, you'll find something. There's always something for you to get excited about. And it could be a problem sometimes that you're experiencing. Learn something about it, read something about it, read an article, something that's going to engage you in strong feelings. So if you think about it, you've done these exercises. All you need to do is you do these exercises. You do this in the morning and night. The key is to do it consistently. The key here, the main thing is don't just do it once and feel good about it. Do it daily. Do it every day. Now, there's one more thing I forgot. There's 8 minutes here. There's another 2 minutes. So we've got to do 10 minutes. So there's 3 minutes reflection, 5 minutes deep mini. These are mini deep learning practices. This is not the actual real deep learning practice, but they're mini and they're effective because they're going to keep your subconscious mindset into a positive mode, into feelings of emotions like love and feelings of emotions like faith and hope and passion and romance and sex, all these things that fill the subconscious side of the brain. These are the things where the brain starts to spark, the brain starts to have imagination, starts to wonder, ideas come through, and it helps our conscious side of the brain where decisions are made, where actions are done, and where new experiences are felt. But we have to go through this process. We have to automate the process in the morning and automate the process at night. The final thing you do at night, meditation. 2 minutes. Now this is what I do. I'm not a big meditator. I'm not telling you to go and do all these meditation courses and but this is an easy task and it's such an effective task. Before you go to bed, all I want you to do after you've done this, the reflection, after you've done the deep learning, the mini deep learning practice, I want you to spend 2 minutes breathing, close your eyes, breathe in